everyone, and welcome to my Disney read-along Nightmare Before Christmas edition reading vlog. It is actually day 2 of the readathon because yesterday I didn't get any reading done. I had a very hectic day at work, so just kind of chilled when I got home. But today, kind of the same thing happened. I just got home from work. It was a very chaotic day, let me tell you about it. Actually, I won't. I'll spare you all of those details. But finally, now that I am home, I'm going to be starting my first read, which is Burton on Burton by Tim Burton. This is basically his memoir slash autobiography that I think is a bit about his life, but mostly about his films. I'm very excited to read it either way. So when I was at work during my break, I did read the foreword, which was just like a couple of pages, and in fact they don't even include them as pages, so I only just got up to page 1 after reading the foreword. So I'm very excited to get into this book, and I will let you know what I think of it. Hey guys, so it is now the next day, which makes it day 3 of the Disney read-along. I just got home from work, which is something you're not going to hear me say a lot this week because today is actually my last day of work and I have off for the next 3 days for Thanksgiving, so very excited about that. But yeah, I didn't do a whole lot of reading last night because I kind of got really tired real quick, so I only read 38 pages of this book, but so far I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I didn't really know how this book was going to be set up because apparently this is like a whole part of a series of like blank on blank. I've never read any of these before, but basically from what I understand, I think all of the parts that are actually by Tim Burton are actually transcribed. Is that the word that I'm looking for? From interviews that he did. So I can't really judge the writing at all because it's not technically writing. We're just kind of reading what someone was saying. And frankly, I actually enjoy it. It's really like natural and just natural. It just flows really well because it's just like somebody is speaking. So I actually do enjoy the writing. But then in between everything are like little paragraphs that are more like the biography kind of stuff, which I assume are by Mark Salisbury, who edited this, or Salisbury. I don't know. So there's little like biography parts that just kind of like fill in the blank in between what he's talking about. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, like I said yesterday, this isn't super like autobiography-ish because it's mostly about his work. So far, like I said, I'm only 38 pages in, so we're still kind of at his time working with Disney. But so far, my favorite thing about this book are all of the photographs and the art, because there is a lot of like concept art for his things included here. So for instance, we have like a bunch of concept art for Frankenweenie, and then we've got like the concept art from Frankenweenie and then how it parallels with this scene in Frankenstein. So yeah, I think this is really cool, and it's a really fast read even though I didn't read a lot of it last night, but hopefully I'll read a lot of it tonight. I swear, every time I turn on the camera, my heat turns on. Coincidence? I think not. So yeah, I'm hoping to read more of this tonight, and then my mom also has a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so I think I'm probably just gonna wait in the car and I'll get a lot of reading done then also. So yeah, that is all for now, and I'll probably update y'all tomorrow. So it is now day 4 of the Disney read-along. I don't know how this week is going by so fast. I think it's because I started a day late, so my brain is still thinking it's only day 3, but it's day 4 and it's going by very quickly. So as predicted, I did get quite a bit of reading done while I was waiting in the car at my mom's doctor's appointment. So I'm now on page 130 and I'm still super enjoying it for all of the reasons that I listed yesterday. So I'm probably not going to update you really on my thoughts until I finish the book because they're all the same. There's not really a whole lot to say. I will say I am learning a whole lot about Tim Burton, even though it's mainly about his work and not so much about his own like personal life. He does delve into a lot of things, you know, about himself while talking about his work because so much of himself is reflected in his work. So all of that is super interesting. I really love the concept art and all of the photography that is in this also, like I said before. So yeah, I'm super enjoying this. This morning slash today I did edit my last reading vlog, so I have to upload that tonight because I haven't uploaded a video in over a week. And I also really wanted to put up my Christmas tree tonight because it's the day before Thanksgiving, and usually my Christmas tree goes up on November 1st, so I really do want to put it up, but I'm also just not really feeling it till the night. Like, I kind of feel a bit lazy, so I may or may not do that. I'm also considering, because it's like Tim Burton week, I kind of want to watch a Tim Burton movie, and one of the ones that has kind of caught my eye because it's on Disney Plus, at least I think it is a movie that I have never seen of Tim Burton's, and I've like actively avoided watching this film, and that is Frankenweenie. Because I just don't know if I can handle it. It might actually ruin my week. Like, my dog passed away over 2 years ago, and I'm still not over it. So I just don't know if this is going to be a good movie for me to watch. But despite all that, I still really want to watch it because it's Tim Burton. Obviously, I love that. I especially love stop motion animation, so I really want to watch Frankenweenie, but I just don't know if it's going to be a good idea because it might just ruin my entire week. So I guess we're just gonna see what happens. I kind of also want to do some journaling tonight, and it's been a while since I've done a little journaling montage in one of my reading vlogs, so perhaps we'll do that tonight also. And happy Thanksgiving. I believe this makes it day 5 of the Disney read-along. As per usual, my heat is running in the background, so that's fun. But it's about 1:30 in the afternoon, and we just finished having our Thanksgiving lunch. Obviously, Thanksgiving's a bit different this year, and usually we'd wake up and we'd watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, but they didn't really do it this year, so we didn't even bother watching. But every year they do the Purina Dog Show, which I thought that they'd cancel, but of course they still did it. And as much as I don't super love the idea of how those dogs are treated and such like that, it's like a tradition for us to watch it every year, because as a kid I was obsessed with dogs, and I still am, so we watch it every year. So we watched that while we had lunch, and it was a lovely time. But now I should probably catch you up on my reading, since that's kind of the whole point of this vlog. So this morning I read quite a bit of Burton on Burton, so now I'm on page 222, which is about 40 pages from the ending, so I'm definitely going to finish it this afternoon, hopefully, fingers crossed. And then besides reading that this morning, I also watched a bit of The Umbrella Academy, which isn't a particularly festive show to watch on this occasion, but I'd watched half of season 1 like last month, and then I stopped watching it, and now I finally finished it. So now I'm on season 2. And as far as Frankenweenie last night, I did watch about half of it, and then I just got tired and went to bed. But I did really enjoy it. I didn't cry as of right now. I don't know if it's gonna like hit me in the ending or something like that, but luckily they didn't really linger on the super sad moments for very long, otherwise I'm pretty sure I probably would have cried. But as for right now, we are finally going to decorate my Christmas tree. So I put on my Lion King Christmas sweater. I wasn't wearing this earlier, but I thought I dressed for the occasion of decorating my tree, and we're just gonna put my tree up together. So let's jump into it. So it is now several hours later after dinner. I hope y'all enjoyed my little decorating montage, which I think came out not as good as I wanted it to in my head. But nonetheless, I ran into a little issue with my Christmas tree because my Christmas tree is very tiny and I have a lot of ornaments that I've collected over the years. So until I'm able to move into a place where I can have a big tree, what is my hair doing over here? Okay, don't look at that. I'm going to hold my head on this side. Until I move into a place where I can have a big tree, I kind of have to pick and choose what ornaments I use every year, and I try to go with a theme. So this year the theme was going to be Mickey and Minnie Mouse. But then, because all of my ornaments are in storage, and they're like mixed in with my mom's stuff, and just a lot of different stuff, and there's a lot of stuff going on, I was unable to find, like, most of my Mickey and Minnie ornaments. So I have a very sparse looking Christmas tree this year, but I still think it looks pretty cute, so I'm happy with that. In other news, I did finally finish my book, Burton on Burton. I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. Not surprising at all. Like, there wasn't one part of this book that I didn't enjoy reading about his work, so absolutely love this. And this works for the challenge of What's This, which is to read a book that you do I even know what my own challenge is? It's to read a book in either a genre or format that you don't read often. So I don't often read nonfiction books, and in fact I've never read a book in this kind of nonfiction format, how like some of it is from the point of view of Tim Burton, but it's like transcribed, and then some of it is more biographical. Anyways, so this completed one of the challenges. We're gonna move on now. It's been a long day. So I was planning on then reading Little Women to complete the read a book with orange on the cover challenge, but that book is over 500 pages, and so I just don't see myself reading that in a little over 2 days, because I did start a day late and I didn't think this other book would take me quite as long to read, so I'm just kind of behind. So I feel like I have to pick a different book with orange on the cover to use for that challenge, and the only book that I was able to find with orange on the cover, and it's not even that orange, but also that wasn't super long, was a book called Of Grave Concern by Max McCoy. This is an Ophelia Wilde paranormal mystery. This has been on my shelf for many years. It is a paranormal, it's a paranormal mystery. I literally just said that. I meant to say it's a cozy mystery story. I can't talk tonight. You know what? All you really need to know is it's a cozy mystery story. I'm gonna start reading it tonight, and I'll give you like a proper synopsis in the morning when I can talk better, because clearly I'm having a night. Might also watch a bit more Frankenweenie tonight. And my watch along for The Nightmare Before Christmas is happening tomorrow, so that's exciting. And I also have off from work again tomorrow, so hopefully I'll get a lot of reading done. Hi guys, so it is now day 6 of the Disney read-along. It is about 7 o'clock in the evening, and I just woke up from an unintentional nap. You can probably tell, because I still look really sleepy. To be fair, all of my naps are unintentional because I actually have a lot of trouble falling asleep at night, so I'm always really tired throughout the day, and I try not to fall asleep during the day, so that way hopefully I'll be tired at night and I can actually fall asleep. But things like this happen, so I'm glad it happened now though, because my watch-along starts in an hour, and that would be rather unfortunate if I fell asleep in the middle of that. But as far as my reading goes, which is probably why you're here, this morning I woke up and I read the entirety of The Melancholy Death of Oyster Boy and Other Stories by Tim Burton. This is my third time reading this book, and I loved it again. 5 out of 5 stars. This is about 115 pages and it took me less than 20 minutes to read it, so it's a really great read for readathons like this. The best way I can describe this is basically like twisted Dr. Seuss, and in fact, because I just read that Burton on Burton book, he does actually mention in there that this was inspired by Dr. Seuss. In fact, quite a bit of his stuff was inspired by Dr. Seuss, including The Nightmare Before Christmas, which as a Dr. Seuss fan myself, that makes me very happy. So this completes 3 challenges, I believe. It completes the This is Halloween challenge, which is to read a spooky book. It completes the Sandy Claus challenge, which is to read a book that features Christmas in it. And also the Jack and Sally challenge, which is to read a book with a romance in it. And technically you could also use this for the What's This challenge, because I don't often read poetry at all. So yeah, super enjoyed this. As far as of grave concern, I'm actually only 40 pages into this, and I'm not loving it. In fact, this was what I was reading when I fell asleep. So it's not looking very good for this book, but I am still pretty early into it. As far as like a synopsis, it's historical fiction. It's set after the Civil War, I believe, and I think it's kind of a western, which could be why I'm not super enjoying it, because westerns don't really pique my interest. But we're following Ophelia Wilde, who can see the dead, and from the synopsis on the back, I feel like the synopsis might take place before this book actually does, because basically the synopsis says that she kind of is at some point in her life like duped by a like medium, and so she decides to do that herself and tricks people, like after the Civil War, you know, women who have lost their husbands, and she tries to pretend like she can speak to the dead, and then one of them finds out that she's a fraud, and like all the townspeople gang up on her and bury her alive, and when that happens, she actually starts to speak to the dead. So, but from the 40 pages that I've read, it seems like she's already able to do that, so I'm a little confused as to what the synopsis is taking place before the story actually does, or like what is really going on. So I'll probably just update you about this again tomorrow, but like I said, in about an hour is my watch-along for The Nightmare Before Christmas, so I'm very excited about that. I'm starting to have a little bit of regret reading the Burton on Burton book for this readathon, because it only completed 1 challenge, and that challenge could have been completed by the poetry book, so now I'm like, why didn't I just read that and then read Little Women, which I'd probably enjoy more than this other weird stinking book I'm reading, so I'm having some regrets, but we're gonna try not to do that. I think I'm gonna have some coffee, because I definitely need to wake up, and this is actually gonna be my 3rd cup of coffee of the day, and somehow I still fall asleep. Like, what is going on? But I need to stay awake for this watch-along, because that would just be tragic. But I suppose that's all for now, and I will probably update you tomorrow, or maybe the next day, because I actually have to get up really early for work tomorrow, because I have to be to work 2 hours earlier than I usually would. So, wish me luck with that. It is now the final day of the readathon. As per usual, my heat is always running in the background. But not only is it the final day, it is actually the final hour, because it is 11 o'clock in the evening. I had kind of a crappy day at work today, so when I got home, I just didn't really do much, and unfortunately I'm here to share that I think I'm going to be DNFing this book, because I'm just not really into it. When I'm reading it, I'm not really enjoying it. When I'm not reading it, let's just say I have no motivation to pick it back up again. So it's not like I would have been able to finish it within the last hour anyway, so it's really not that big of a deal. And like I posted on the Twitter account, life is too short to read books that you're not enjoying. So I'm going to put this book down, but I don't want this last hour to just be nothingness and to end on like a sour note. So I'm actually going to pick up a book and just read it for the last hour. And it's a book that I've been eyeballing all week because I just recently picked it up on a whim at the Starbucks in my Barnes & Noble for $5. And that is Five Total Strangers. So this is a thriller as far as I know, and I don't really know anything about it because, as you guys know, I like to go into my thrillers blind. But the way that I came across this book was I work at a mall that has a Barnes & Noble with a Starbucks in it, so I went there to get something else, and they had a deal going on that if you bought anything at Starbucks, you could buy this for $5. So I figured, why not? It's been presented in front of me for a cheap price, so I'll give it a shot. And yeah, I've been kind of eyeballing it all week, but I've been putting it off because it doesn't really complete any of the challenges. Certainly not to read a book with orange on the cover, which is the last challenge I have to complete. But hey, I'm just going to read it for the last hour, and then I will do a quick little wrap-up at the end. Alright, you guys, the Disney Read-Along Nightmare Before Christmas edition is officially over. The clock has strucketh midnight, and I'm aware that this lighting makes my teeth look very yellow, as if they don't look yellow already. This just makes it look much worse. But I actually got 50 pages into this book, so almost a page a minute. I only took a couple of breaks, as you know, but coincidentally, this book is set on Christmas Eve, and I had absolutely no idea. So had I started this book sooner, which I wish I would have, then this could have totally worked for the Sandy Claus challenge of reading a book that's set during the holidays. That was one of my challenges, wasn't it? Before I wrap this video up, if you're curious as to what this book is about, because frankly I don't think I've heard anybody talk about this on BookTube, we're following a girl called Mira, and I think this might be a YA book also because she is in high school, I believe, and she's like an art student, and she's flying on a plane. She's trying to go home for the holidays, and they have really horrible weather, so her connecting flight ends up getting canceled. But while she was on the first flight, she met a girl called Harper, and she made really good friends with her, and so Harper has rented a car and invites Mira to come with her and some of her friends, and they'll drop her off on the way home on Christmas Eve. But then when Mira agrees to go in the car with them, weird things starts happening, and she realizes that these are 5 total strangers that she is in the car with. So yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. Like I said, I'm only 50 pages in, so there's not really a lot to judge it on, but I enjoy the writing. I feel like it flows really well, and we have an interesting group of characters going on here, so I'm excited to see where this story goes. But yeah, that is the end of the Disney read-along. So I hope you all enjoyed this reading vlog. I ended up completing 4 out of 5 challenges and 2 books, both of which were basically by Tim Burton. So I felt like my TBR was pretty fitting for this readathon, even though I didn't get around to completing all of the challenges. So yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
You hear that, Samson?